Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. Hey, today we're going to review the Sandrin Torino. Before we get to the knife, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own life. Vets, I love you. You have a place here. We back the blue over here. We support Leo. Scab, how in the world do you do that, son? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Well, big shout out, big thanks goes to Rusty Knife Lover, who sent me a box of knives. These knives have made the review circuit. I'm the third or fourth reviewer. Rusty, thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate it. These come to me by way of Big Red EDC. If you're not subscribed to Big Red, why the hell not? You really, really need to be. Now, here's the deal, guys. There's a ton of reviews on this knife online. A lot of them are way better than mine. I'll say that up front. I'm going to list Big Red's review, which is superior to mine, and Eric Husayn, who did a masterful job, in the description below, so you can check out a couple different reviews on it. This blade is made of a polyhedral tungsten carbide. It is not steel, so it will not rust. It has what they call stay sharp technology. This is going to stay sharper a lot longer. Now, you have to use diamonds or diamond plate to sharpen it. Some people have said it's pretty difficult to sharpen. Some have not. So it's going to depend on your skill level there. Let me give you just a few quick facts before we get into the knife itself. Well, let me give you some specs on the knife. The blade is right at 2 7/8 inches. The cutting surface is 2 inches. It's got a 4-inch handle for a 6 7/8 inch overall length. Now, the thickness is 52 thousandths of an inch or 1.2 millimeters, so it is incredibly thin. It's a smaller blade. It is a warehouse worker's dream, let me say that. The handles are made out of grippy G10. It's been kind of molded or shaped in a way where all the workings are on the outside. Pretty cool aesthetic if you like that kind of thing. It has a recoil lock inspired by the knife designer Snex, who actually allowed them to use this design. I love the lock, the recoil lock. I love fidget knives. This is a fidget knife lover's dream. Let me just say that. It's got a large forward choil. It has a nice sharpening choil. It's just a great overall knife. Now, it has a raw carbide finish. Now, a lot of people aesthetically have knocked this knife. That's not the goal of my channel. If you've watched my channel at all, you know this. I try to make videos where you could turn off my melodious tones, turn off the noise, and just watch the knife perform and make up your mind if you like it or not. We're trying to do a few more close-ups, and we're going to cut all kind of mediums in this video. Now, it is a reversible clip, which I love, and it is a true ambidextrous knife. The lock is ambidextrous. It has ambidextrous thumb studs. Awesome, awesome, awesome job. It only weighs 2.3 ounces, and that's pretty much the specs. Oh, the other one you need to know, it's got a 71 Rockwell hardness, so it's super hard, super tough knife. Now, let me say this. In my opinion, function on this one beats form. Like I said, the only knocks I've seen online are the aesthetics. And guys, listen to me. I don't care about the aesthetics. We answer one question. Does the knife knife? And let me tell you something. In my opinion, this knife knifes. Now, some people say it's a little more difficult to sharpen. Some people don't. I think it's going to, it's just going to depend on your skill as a sharpener. It is not a steel blade. Again, it's a tungsten carbide. So it's going to have phenomenal edge retention. Now, there we are fidgeting with it some. That forward choil is also kind of a safety device. If you disengage the lock, it free falls pretty quickly. If your finger's there, that safety choil lands right on it, and it's perfect. There's a look at the scales, the G10 scales, and you see it flips pretty good. Now, this one will show you about the toughness of a knife. This is just some old water hose, rubber water hose. So yes, it should cut. I understand that. But we've got the shorter pieces where you have to push a little bit. All right, this knife had zero problems doing so. Now let me say this too. The other thing is, old Scabber's going to be 50 this year. I know it's hard to believe. As young and spry as I look, it's going to be hard to believe. But comfort becomes a key factor in my knife purchase. Are there any hot spots in the handle? I found none. These old hands are busted up for my brilliant life choices. Very, very comfortable in hand, very comfortable to use. I love a longer handle. Now, there's going to be some people say, oh, it doesn't match the blade. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you're buying a knife for aesthetic purposes, or a Sunday go to meeting knife, or go out to dinner knife, Sandrin has some other beautiful, beautiful knives. I would say this is 100% a straight up work knife. It is a workhorse of a knife. I watched, I think Pete over at Cedric and Ada did a brilliant job on reviewing this knife. I watched Nick's, I watched Metal Complex, I watched all of these guys. They care a little bit more, now not Pete. Pete's more of a function guy like I am. The others cared a little more about the aesthetic, and I understand that. And you may want to watch their videos to get their take on it. I'm not the guy you want to go to for fit, finish, or aesthetic. Again, functionality. Now, I did a little push cutting here. I had to put a little saw on it right here, but guys, I'm the 4th reviewer on this knife, and I think Rusty cut with it some. No problem. This ski rope, it's cut right through there. Now, here in my brilliance, I didn't, if you see movement on there, it's ate up with ants, attaboy Scab. A lesser reviewer would have quit here. I heroically powered through. Just shows the courage on my part. There I am getting bit by an ant. There I am getting pissed and smacking the ant. There we go. Now, always, guys, when you're out in the wild or your front yard, as such, you may want to check your stuff you're cutting on. That's my fault. I live in Florida where swamp ass and moccasoons run rampant, and sometimes fire ants get forgot about, but we have them in spades. Now, this is that old piece, just a nylon strap from my bat bag. Again, nothing that you see, no medium that we take on presents a problem for this blade. The other thing that I really like about this blade is it is corrosion resistant. It will not rust. Living in Florida, I mentioned swamp ass there. You have to. We stay at about 100% humidity 100% of the time during the summer. Corrosion is a real deal. This knife doesn't corrode. Now, here's the deal. It's a $200 knife. Some people are going to balk at that. The way I look at that is this. For $200, is it worth it function-wise? Absolutely. And I'm talking about current pricing. We're not here to discuss why knives are what they're priced at. I have no control over that, and I wished everything was cheaper. I wish, we were back in the good old days where men were men and women didn't look like it and all of that, but we're not. So as far as a price point goes, if you're buying, if I had to buy a knife to go to work with, and I had to rely on it for what I do, and I work at Home Depot, we all know this would be a knife I would certainly purchase. Now, we've cut everything. It's only fair that we come to wood. And this thing just, man, I think this would be a good one for Captain Electro, for his carving, because it's just absolutely, it just gets it done, man. The other thing is with Cap, he's a fidgeter. This is a great fidget knife. I believe if you watch Eric Husayn's video, he fidgets with his throughout the entire thing. And I've played with it ever since the knife has come in. I've walked around flipping it around, and Megatron's even played with it some. It's that kind of knife. Now there's a good look at the overall look at the knife. Like I said, 1.2 millimeters thick, very thin, and it's beyond lightweight. So if you are one of those guys where ounces matter and things like that, and I know you guys are out there, or you need a good suit knife, this is a perfect knife. Like I said, at 2.3 ounces, you won't know it's there, son. Overall, my thoughts on the knife, for function, I've got to give it a 10 out of 10. There was no edge damage, no mark on the sharpening. It was just as sharp when I stopped as when I started. Just a great overall knife. Yes, the price point's a little high, but it is what it is, and you get what you pay for. You have G10, and Sandrin has perfected that tungsten carbide. For me, great knife. Now, we got about a minute left, so guys, listen. We got a lot of stuff coming up. My brother from another mother, Donnie B. All Day, is marching towards 10,000. To B for Baron, who won D-Bad's giveaway, congrats, dude. So glad you won it. That's awesome. We will have our giveaway come Friday. Please subscribe to D-Bad. My guy Joe from Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife, we're trying to get him to 1,000. Carl Ruger, I mentioned Eric Husayn, Captain Electro. We all want to get these guys up, guys. I want the bib to grow. My shout out's Big Red EDC. Go check him out. And like my boy Mikey always says, Scab, never give up, never surrender, and everything will be all right. And you need to check Mikey out over at Cerebral Ballsy. He'll change your life. I promise you he will. Well, Rusty, thank you, my brother. Love it. I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son.